Hi, I'm Chris the Counsellor, and this is part 3 of the key concepts in person-centred counselling. So hopefully if you've made it this far, you've got through part 1 and part 2 of the key concepts in person-centred counselling. In this video, I'm going to outline 3 more concepts which are central and essential to the person-centred approach to counselling. Okay, so the first term that I want to look at is what Rogers termed the fully functioning person. Now, this was not a thing that was attainable or even an endpoint or a place that we would reach. Instead, it was a way that Rogers could outline the kind of ideal characteristics and traits of how we might be in the world. It was almost like a thought experiment. If we removed all the conditioning that we received, and if our actualizing tendency could continue unhindered, then we would reach what he termed the fully functioning person. Now, some of the traits that we might associate with a fully functioning person would be spontaneous, open to experience, being able to exist in the here and now and digest any experiences that we might have, to trust our own judgment, to follow our own feelings and guidance, those types of things. So as I say, this is not a place that we would get to or attain, but instead was a way to outline the characteristics of a person that would have no impact from external sources in a negative way and could just follow their own actualizing tendency and continue to grow and mature completely unhindered. This is what Rogers was talking about when he mentions the fully functioning person. Now, something else that is related to this is the organismic valuing process. And this basically is the way that we operate in the world or make judgments or absorb experiences if it is unhindered from external sources. This might be linked to something of trusting our gut instinct, of going with what we feel is right, even if others say that it is wrong. Now, it's not that it's always the right decision, but more so that it isn't influenced negatively from external sources. This is the valuing process that we have internally and is probably most alive when we are very young children or babies, when we haven't been influenced by other people or society, and that we make judgments and behave in a natural and organic way. This is what the organismic valuing process is. It is kind of our way of evaluating situations, how we feel, how we experience the world, and how we want to behave without influence from external sources. And this is what we're trying to move towards as we go through therapy. We may be letting go of judgments or beliefs from external sources and paying more attention to what's going on inside ourselves, trusting our own judgment and our own view of the world. Now, another concept which is really important and related to this is what is called the locus of evaluation. Sometimes it is also called the locus of control, but it means exactly the same thing. Now, the locus of evaluation is either internal or external. It's never usually exclusively one or the other, but it will usually be strongly weighted on one side or the other. Now, if we have an external locus of evaluation, what this means is that we take data from things outside of ourselves to make decisions about how we act and how we feel. What this means is that we will listen to other people's opinions of ourselves over and above our own to make decisions about what we do and how we feel. This means that we give more weight and value to other people and external sources more than we give to ourselves. Now, an internal locus of evaluation is basically just the opposite of this. This means that we trust our feelings, we trust our decisions, and we trust what we want to do and be in the world. We may listen to other people's opinions and maybe even take them on board, but ultimately we will be asking ourselves about how we feel and what we want to do. You can see the difference here. If we have an external locus of evaluation, we give more value to people outside of ourselves, and if we have an internal locus of evaluation, then we give the ultimate value to ourselves. Now, when clients are starting counselling, more often than not, they will have an external locus of evaluation. And this might be illustrated by a client asking a therapist for advice or what they think on a matter, rather than the client asking themselves and wondering, how do I feel about this? What do I want to do about it? They will be looking externally for guidance and advice. What usually happens through the process of therapy is that the locus of evaluation moves from external to internal. So we begin to trust ourselves more, maybe to go with our gut feeling or our instincts, and check in with ourselves if we want to know how we feel or what we should do in a given situation. So this video has outlined 3 key terms. That is the fully functioning person, which is an ideal which is not attainable, which outlines the characteristics and traits of a person who was not conditioned at all and their actualizing tendency was completely unhindered. The organismic valuing process, which is our organic valuing process, which is not interrupted by other people's values and beliefs, and instead is our way of knowing how we really feel about things in our natural state. And the locus of evaluation, which can either be external or internal. If it's external, we value others' opinions over our own, and if it's internal, then we trust our own judgment over those of others. If you have any questions about these 3 concepts, then please leave a comment below, and if not, move on to part 4.